The Flash vs. The Whizzer. Hello, Nerd Squad. Today we're going to be talking about Flash vs. The Whizzer. This is one of my favorite comic book crossovers. We are going to be looking at two Golden Age speedsters in a battle of the fastest men alive. J. Garrick, the Flash, and Robert Franklin, the Whizzer. I've been wanting to do this for a long time because these two characters are so similar, but they come from very different universes. And if you have not read this story, I highly recommend it. It is awesome. And it is called The Fastest Man Alive vs. The Fastest Man in the World. And I'm going to talk about why this story is so great in addition to this matchup. I think the reason why this works so well is because the Flash and the Whizzer have so much in common. They both get their powers from the chemical reactions that occur when they ingest a certain type of water. And then, after they drink the water, it causes them to become super fast. In the Whizzer's case, he drinks the water from a fountain. And in the Flash's case, it comes from a water tower. And there's also another big similarity between these two guys. Both of them lost someone very important to them, which is what drives them to put on the mask and become these heroes. For the Flash, it's his mother, who was killed by the circus villain, the evil clown, the gorilla Grogu. And for the Whizzer, it's actually a woman named Carol Tyler, who's murdered in cold blood by gangsters, which leads him to become the hero known as the Whizzer. Now, there's also some pretty big differences between these guys too. And that's what makes this matchup so interesting. Even though both of these characters get their powers from ingesting special water, the way those powers manifest is a little bit different. With the Flash, it comes out of nowhere. He becomes the fastest man alive all of a sudden. And with the Whizzer, it's a little more gradual. He became stronger and faster, and then he also developed his incredible healing factor as well. Another difference between these two is the Flash comes from a universe where there are other people who have super speed. There's Jesse Quick, there's Max Mercury. There's a whole group of speedsters in the Flash family. And with the Whizzer, he's kind of the only one. Now, I know that's not technically true, because there is a kid who has super speed in Marvel, but he's not really considered to be a major character. So for all intents and purposes, the Whizzer is kind of the only guy who has super speed in his universe. Both of these characters were created by Gardner Fox. He created the Flash, and he created the Whizzer. But the Flash was created a few years before the Whizzer. And the reason why he created the Whizzer is because he wanted to make a hero that was similar to the Flash, but different enough that it could exist outside of the Flash's universe. So what he did was he took most of the similarities and the things that made the Flash, and put it into the Whizzer, except for the thing that made the Flash, which was his super speed. He decided to go with a different power set for the Whizzer, making him a little more of an Olympic-type hero, and then he gave him this incredible healing factor. The Whizzer's costume was also influenced by the Flash. As you can see, they both have the lightning bolt across their chest, but the Whizzer's lightning bolt is white and red, where the Flash's lightning bolt is yellow and red. Now, how fast is the Flash? How fast is the Whizzer? That's up for debate. But based on feats that we've seen in the comics, it's pretty clear that both of these guys are incredibly fast. At one point, the Flash describes himself as being able to run 1 mile in under 2 minutes, so we know he's really fast. Another similarity between these two guys is that both of their costumes help enhance their abilities. The Flash's costume gives him a boost of speed, and the Whizzer's costume also gives him a boost of speed and strength. Now, in the crossover where these two meet, the Flash describes himself as the fastest man alive. And that's a title that has been used by many different characters throughout the DC universe, but it's most closely associated with Barry Allen. He's the Flash from Earth-1, and he's the Flash who currently holds that title. Now, the Whizzer was created in Marvel Comics during the Golden Age, and at that time, there was no cosmic awareness. No one knew that there were other people out there who had superpowers. So for all intents and purposes, the Whizzer really believed that he was the fastest man in the world. And that's kind of what the title says. It doesn't say the fastest man alive. It just says the fastest man in the world. And in the story, it is described that the Whizzer was the fastest man in the world because he was the only superhero who had super speed. He didn't know about Jesse Quick or Max Mercury or anyone like that. So let's talk about the actual fight now. Who would win in a battle between these two? Well, this is tough to say because both of these guys are very similar, but also very different. The Flash has super speed, whereas the Whizzer has super speed and super strength and a healing factor. And I think that the Whizzer might actually have the advantage here because he doesn't need to touch the ground while he is running. Because of his super strength, he is able to leap over buildings and he is able to stay in the air for longer periods of time. And if the Flash is trying to run circles around the Whizzer, then the Whizzer can just jump up in the air and not have to worry about the Flash getting ahead of him. Also, the Whizzer is actually taller than the Flash, standing at 6'4" versus the Flash's 5'11", so it is possible that the Whizzer may actually have a reach advantage over the Flash. If the Flash tries to use his super speed to punch the Whizzer, then the Whizzer's healing factor will probably kick in and heal him from any sort of punches that the Flash might throw. And if the Whizzer is able to tag the Flash with even one of his punches, then I think that would be a knockout blow. However, I think that if the Flash is able to get past the Whizzer as super strength and the Whizzer as durability, then I think that the Flash would definitely win. But if the Flash is not careful, then he could easily lose this fight. As I said before, the Whizzer was able to defeat the Flash in a race by simply jumping into the air and avoiding the Flash's attempts to pass him. And if the Whizzer is able to get close enough to the Flash, then I think that he could actually beat the Flash in a fight as well. If the Flash tried to vibrate his molecules to go through the Whizzer, then the Whizzer could just heal from whatever damage the Flash does to him, and then just punch the Flash in the face. So I think that the Flash would probably want to keep his distance and try to tire the Whizzer out. And if he could do that, then I think that the Flash would be able to win. But if the Whizzer is able to keep the Flash from doing that, then I think that the Whizzer would win. Who do you think would win in a battle between these two? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video today, then be sure to leave a like. If you love this channel, then consider supporting us. We always have cool rewards. Thank you so much to our supporters. We really appreciate you guys for helping us make these videos possible. And don't forget to subscribe.